In 2017, if you were mechanically bad at CSGO, it is 100% your own fault. Let me be very clear with the phrasing here. If you are mechanically bad at CSGO in 2017, mechanically bad, it's your own fault. And to quickly explain what I consider to be mechanical skill or the mechanics of CSGO, it's basically anything that requires a physical action on the mouse or keyboard or both. So this is everything from just general movement, right? Your ability to just walk around a map like I'm doing right now, to strafing and then counter strafing. Your ability to stop your movement. So maybe you're lining up a shot, and to be as accurate as possible, you can't be moving, so you're trying to set your feet. It includes jumping, your ability to jump either maybe long distances or maybe to like bunny hop a bit or maybe jump through a door, your ability to shoulder peek, your ability to flick to a target, to tap, to spray, to burst, to control your recoil, to transfer your recoil from one target to another. These are all things that fall into the bucket of mechanical skill. And when I tweeted this out before making this video, I got a lot of interesting responses, and a lot of people, as I'm sure you've seen in society in 2017, like to make excuses and place blame somewhere else and point their finger at a different player, etc., etc. Um, and you'll pretty much never go anywhere in life if you just keep pointing your finger at other people and making excuses. So you should definitely stop that immediately. But to get back on topic, the reason that I think if you are mechanically bad in any of those areas in 2017 and it is your fault, the reason I believe it's your fault is because of the offline mode for this game. And last week, League of Legends, I guess, released some kind of offline mode of some kind, and it's kind of what brought this back to top of mind. This is a topic I've thought about for several months now, and that news just reminded me of how awesome having an offline mode in this game is, and the fact that there are people that don't take advantage of it, especially at the pro level. But there's a lot of aspiring pros, a lot of low to mid level players that want to be pro someday that don't take advantage of this. If you are, let's say you're like me and you're someone that switched to Overwatch for a period of time and your sensitivity was like crazy high compared to your CS:GO sensitivity. When you came back to CS:GO, you couldn't control your recoil anymore, which I believe to be the most muscle memory base thing in this game. I think flicking is a little bit more hand-eye coordination. Recoil control to me is almost entirely muscle memory. And you're playing and you're like, man, I would get 5 more kills a half if I could control my recoil. And you're bad at that, right? So let's say that this is bad and this is world class, and you're like right in this neighborhood. There's literally a map for that. Like there's an offline map on the workshop that somebody awesome in the community made that you can actually come and practice 15, 20, 30 minutes a day, maybe an hour a day of just getting the muscle memory back of your recoil control. And if you're not doing that and you're complaining that your recoil is bad, it's 100% your fault, right? You have the ability to improve that. Now, that being said, if you're here right now and this is world class, right? Maybe this is your favorite pro level player who can just hold mouse one and get nothing but headshots at crazy ranges. I'm not saying that if you do this that you're going to eventually be here, right? But to be here is essentially inexcusable, especially if it's something you're complaining about. If you're cool being bad, then you're probably not watching this video, first of all. But if you're not complaining, cool. But if you're saying like, oh, I should have more kills and I don't know why I'm at this rank and blah blah blah, and your recoil control is down here, and you're doing nothing to improve it, that's your own damn fault. But if you were to spend 60 minutes a day on this map, maybe you end up like here, right? You're on the lower side of average, or hell, maybe you end up like on the higher. Maybe you're above average, and you're going from kind of this average range to this good range, or maybe you're gonna end up like here in this great, almost world class range. But to be here in 2017 is inexcusable. And I would extend this, right? This example can be applied to any mechanical skill. It could be applied to your movement, right? If your movement is this bad and you've never played a KZ or surf map to practice and get more comfortable with your sensitivity and your setup and your ability to stop your strafing and to hit certain kinds of jumps either at long range or from one jump to another that requires you to maybe turn quickly and get really comfortable with just general movement in this game, and you're still here and you've never played a map like that, it's your fault. And I want to be very clear in that if you are going to put in the work, right, you should be able to get to at least like between this and like here, right? Somewhere in this average range. This is a little below average. This is kind of average, or maybe a little bit slightly above average. But you should probably, most people I think are going to fall into this range. But to be down here, inexcusable. And just because you're putting in the work does not mean you're going to be here. There are people, and the reason that I'm going through this again, there are people that believe that if you just work hard, that you'll be here, that you'll be world class, and that there's no such thing as talent. I completely disagree with that. I think there are some people that will get world class, but it's a very small percentage of people that have some level of natural aptitude towards games like this, and it's usually they've got really good hand-eye coordination and they've got the ability to process information really quickly, and a whole bunch of other things that they have that comes natural to them that doesn't come natural to other people. And there's a whole conversation that I could have on talent and if talent exists, which it does, and if you don't think it does, you're delusional. But I'm not going to have that conversation right now. I just want to be very clear that if you're here, it's inexcusable. But if you work hard, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be here. But you should at least be somewhere in this average range when it comes to the mechanics of this game, in a game that's been out for coming up on 5 years. And if you're not, it's your own fault. I'm gonna go through a couple other examples because there are other maps that there are basically community maps for everything in this game, right? If you again, if your recoil is bad, you could play Recoil Master. If you want to practice flicking from one target to the other, you could play Training Aim CS:GO is the name of the map. Look up Freiburg's warm up for CS:GO and see how he goes. Little targets like this appear randomly, and you have to kind of flick and shoot them. Super good practice for that. We talked about KZ and Surf maps for movement. If you want to practice maybe pre-firing a corner, right? Like let's say you know that there's an enemy that really comment on that angle right here, just like that. There are actually maps, I think they're called pre-fire and then the name of the map, that let you actually just do this, right? Let you just kind of strafe out and take a shot at a specific target. If you want to practice maybe throwing grenades, right? Not a super mechanical skill, but some sort of mechanics involved there. There are maps that actually show you the lineups for all the super common and really good smokes and flashes and Molotovs. If you want to practice your speed in transitioning from target to target, there are maps for that. There are literally workshop maps for almost every mechanical skill in this game, and if you are not taking advantage of them, and you're bad in one of these areas, if you have some sort of mechanical skill deficit in any one of the major areas of this game, and you're not leveraging a map like that to improve it, it is 100% your own fault. There's no excuses. If you actually want it and you want to go pro in this game and you want to get better, you can. It is absolutely within your control to do it. If you're sitting there and you're watching this video and then you're going to go watch a stream for 5 hours and then you're going to play an hour of CS and get frustrated that you're not better than you are, you're doing things wrong. So, that being said, appreciate you guys watching this video. I'm very curious to see the conversation on this particular one. And as always, comments, questions, complaints, concerns, and insults are welcome in the comment section here on YouTube. And appreciate you guys watching. Hope to see you on the next video.